All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Tennessee Titans in today's video. So I just was reading an article where an NFL analyst predicted that the Tennessee Titans will make the playoffs in this upcoming season. Dakota Zintak of the Pro Football Network predicted the Titans as the 7th seed with a 9-8 record. Folks, I really don't think that's far-fetched by any means necessary. I think Will Levis is poised for a huge breakout second season. I think Tyjae Spears is one of the most under-recognized rookie running backs from last season. I don't even think it's close, folks. I mean, that guy is multifaceted. He's versatile. He can do a little bit of everything. Will Levis gets ragged on. He just dropped, a Mayo fragrance? That's awesome. Can't wait to buy that. Will Levis has that it factor as far as I'm concerned, or at least what I see. He got ragged on for his completion percentage last season. Folks, the Tennessee Titans, and I just hate to say this on like a Titans video, I hope I don't offend anybody. The Titans offense in the last many seasons was Derrick Henry. It was Derrick Henry. And you had technically DeAndre Hopkins last season, but for a rookie QB to just get thrown into the starting mix halfway towards the season, you're most likely going to struggle. They had really poor pass protection last season. It was one-dimensional with just rushing the football. Mike Vrabel, defensive-minded head coach. And I'm just glad that they decided to move on from Ryan Tannehill, Mike Vrabel, Derrick Henry. I will always miss Derrick Henry, but I do think this new running back room of Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears, I think it's a game changer. And then I think long-term defensively, you guys are even better. That defensive back room, it's nice. All right, so we're going to talk about the Tennessee Titans in today's video, but before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. I'll make as many Titans videos as you guys want. If we can try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for watching. You ripped your first preseason game this past weekend against the San Francisco 49ers. The first regular season matchup in Chicago, Tennessee at Chicago, that has turned into a must-watch television with Will Levis entering his second season and Caleb Williams about to begin his rookie season. But Will Levis against the San Francisco 49ers, he was really good. I thought he engineered 2 touchdown drives in 2 tries, one for 15 yards, one for 64. He didn't throw for anything too crazy outside of Calvin Ridley, but there was nothing, too deep. Will Levis, we all wanted to see him let one fly because we're about to break a statistic. I'm about to give you a statistic towards the end of this video that will just, I think, change your perspective on Will Levis's potential, if you are anti-Will Levis or if you just don't truly believe that he can be that guy. First half, Titans, I thought the penalties were very clean. There were 0 penalties in the first half with most of your healthy, regular guys getting work. That is a very good sign. And then real quick, one final thing I loved from preseason was Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears. Now, you've seen it in practice, or I should say it's been reported in practice, that Tony Pollard has looked really good. Tyjae Spears has looked really good. Tony Pollard, 24-yard run, the speed was there, the burst was there, and apparently Tyjae Spears has significantly improved. So even though Derrick Henry is no longer a part of this team, you're still going to run the ball a lot. But you also now have 2 capable catchers in Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears. I always kind of thought, Tony Pollard's a little bit under-recognized as well, maybe a little bit underrated, maybe because he's playing for Dallas and everyone just kind of has this, I shouldn't say everyone, a lot of people have like this kind of distaste for the Cowboys just because they're, pegged as America's team, and I don't really think anyone else agreed on that except for them. But, anyways, neither here nor there. You're going to see a lot of Tony Pollard and a lot of Tyjae Spears lined up all over the place, being used in a number of ways with their new head coach, because I'm telling you, I think this guy is going to be a great day one head coach. All right, let's talk Will Levis. So Pro Football Focus recently broke down that the biggest weakness for every quarterback in the NFL, and for Will Levis, placing the ball where it needed to be was the biggest issue. Here was the quote: "There are a lot of flaws in Levis's game right now, but his chapter isn't closed just yet. He has played only 9 NFL games with inconsistent results, but now get a new coaching staff and a full offseason to unleash his potential for 2024. Levis," sorry, it just looks like Levi's. Levis does need to hone in his accuracy, as his 24.6% uncatchable inaccurate rate last year is the worst mark among returning starters. I will admit that's not a great statistic to hear. 24.6 is relatively high. Actually, it's super high. And he only completed 54% of his passes, making him dead last out of all quarterbacks who started at least 8 games last season. Tomato. You guys picked up Calvin Ridley. You guys picked up Tyler Boyd. And you picked up freaking Tony Pollard. And you got Tajay coming back. DeAndre Hopkins should be healthy sooner than later. You got some new help at the offensive line in J.C. Latham. Peters coming, for a huge sophomore campaign out of Northwestern. The accuracy is just, it's kind of interesting because, once again, the pass protection was not good for Tennessee last season. And, when I go back and I look at these Falcons games, his debut against the Falcons, where he just freaking absolutely lit it up. And the Falcons have an, underrated defense. I feel like I keep saying underrated too much in this video, but they have an underrated defense. And then I saw him play against Pittsburgh, and I think that Pittsburgh game and that Miami game, like the Miami game, was where I knew I needed to see a full another season of Will Levis, and it wasn't even going to be close. But what was it? His second career game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the stats were not there. It was, poor completion percent. I think he threw like 272 yards, didn't throw a touchdown pass, and he had an interception. But you go back and you watch that game, and you're thinking to yourself, Tennessee should have won it. Will Levis put them in a position to win. And Pittsburgh's one of the best freaking defenses in the NFL. They're a top 5 defense in the league. So here's a really great stat that I like about Will Levis that should get you hopeful for his accuracy. And also, by the way, Peyton Manning threw like 58% of, or completed 58% of his passes. I mean, there's numerous Hall of Fame, some of the best quarterbacks who have ever played the sport. Not necessarily saying Will Levis is, I'm saying he's going to be that, but I am just saying it's his rookie season. Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, plenty of dudes have suffered and struggled as a rookie, because, as we know, where you land matters. I guarantee you Will Levis's season would have gone much differently if it was this roster and coaching staff in front of him. But here's my favorite stat. During 9 games as a starter, 21.5% of his completions went for more than 20 yards. That is a tick better than Stroud's number at 20.5 across the entire season. You want, obviously, to be accurate everywhere at every level of the field, but I'm just saying, I think the short stuff can be cleaned up. I think a lot of that can be schemed up. I think you've got playmakers all around you that are going to make that job easier. You got a better offensive line, a better head coach who knows the offensive side a little bit better than I would say Vrabel did. And that's a crazy stat. 21.5% of his completions went for more than 20 yards. You're in good hands, at least in my opinion. So let me know what you guys are thinking about the Tennessee Titans. As always, hit that like button, hit that sub button. And if you guys want more Titans videos, let me know down below. Give me a win-loss prediction for the Tennessee Titans down below. I'm going to double down. I'm going to go 9-8. Yeah, 9-8.